Good evening, everybody. This is Brandy with Smoky Mountain Stampers. Thanks for joining tonight. I'm gonna just continue piddling around here for a few minutes while folks find this in their feed. And I hope everybody's doing well tonight. I am just doing some stamping. We're gonna work on a Gatefold card tonight. And I haven't done a Gatefold card in a long time. I used to do them all the time, and I don't know why I stopped doing them, but they're fun cards to do. So that's what we're working on, and I think you guys are gonna like it. It's a fun little card. The way we're gonna do it tonight, it's going to showcase some designer series paper, and so I think that's gonna be a good way to do it also. I'm getting ready to die cut something, but I don't like the, I don't think I want to use that die cut. So I'm just changing my mind as I'm going along here. But I hope everybody's ready for Christmas. I don't know about you guys, but I am actually getting pretty close to being ready for Christmas, which is kind of exciting because generally by this time, I am not ready for Christmas. So it's kind of weird that I am actually getting pretty close to being ready. I'm going to grab a die real quick. I'm going to step it over here next to my stuff and pull out one of my sets of dies. So, so what do you got left to do? Like, what kind of shopping do you guys have left to do? I've just got a couple. I've got, I think my granddaughter is one that I've got still to do because, you know, she's got everything she needs. She's a year old. She doesn't really need that much. And, you know, every time she does need something, we just buy it. So, so trying to decide what I'm going to get for her. But other than that, I think I'm almost done, which is kind of exciting. So, hey, Wanda and Melanie, good to see you on here. I saw somebody else, but I missed the name, so if you're on here, say hi and let me know you're here. Like I said, I'm just kind of sitting here. I was piddling around trying to make a little card, and I thought, well, I'm just gonna keep doing it while we're waiting for some folks to get on here. Where's my little pad? So hope you guys are doing well. Melanie, if you hang on, I think we're gonna do your box at the end. I think I have something that's similar to the size that you've got. I'm pretty sure it's the same size, actually. We're going to see. We'll see if it works out. So we'll get your box done for you while we're on Facebook Live. So that'll be fun. But yeah, anyway, that's what we're going to do. But I would love to hear what you guys have got going on for Christmas, if you've got parties going on. My husband is recovering from knee replacement surgery. He had that a week ago on Monday, and he's actually doing really well. Now, I had Achilles surgery back in September, and it's so funny the difference between the two, because you would think, you know, knee replacement surgery is a lot more, well, it was a lot more invasive than, I mean, like, he had bones cut off and replaced with metal and plastic, and but you know, he left the hospital walking on his leg, and you know, I wasn't allowed to bear any weight on my leg for 2 weeks, a full 2 weeks after my surgery. And so it was just kind of weird. I mean, it's been an interesting experience comparing the two surgeries, and I couldn't, it was just awful. Now he's already walking pretty much with oh gosh, he's just walking with like one crutch. It's been kind of amazing to see how fast he's progressed, and he's doing really well. Been going to physical therapy and doing all that good stuff. So he's doing well, and that's exciting to see that going well for him. So yeah. So that's pretty exciting. So let me tell you about some things going up in Stampin' Up! World while we're waiting for some folks. I see we've got quite a few folks on here tonight. Thanks for joining. I would love to know where you're joining from. If it's the first time you're catching this, let me know that too. That would be exciting to know. And let's see here. So I'm doing 2 things at once. Always probably not the best idea, but you know, it's the real world, right? So, yeah, I would love to know where you're watching from. If it's your first time catching me on Facebook Live, and I'm going to show you the card that we've got. What we're going to be making this evening here in just a second. Like I said, we're going to be doing a gatefold card. So if you've never done a gatefold card, they're super easy. I mean, when you start getting past just the regular cards, sometimes people get nervous and they think, oh gosh, I can't do it. It's, you know, it's a fun fold. It's tricky, but really it's not. It's really, and this one, we're not even going to measure and score. We're going to learn to walk on the wild side, and if it's not exactly straight, you know what? That's okay, because it just means that you have made something handmade, and I think people appreciate that. And when they see the little minor things, and really, honestly, most people don't even notice it. We're the ones, because we know what it's supposed to look like, so we think people notice it, but most of the time, people have no idea that there is something askew with our cards. So we just need to learn to let that go. And that's one of my things, is I just want people to have fun, be creative, and share what you make with people. And don't worry about if it's perfect, because it doesn't have to be perfect. So, okay, so here is our card that we're going to make tonight. And it's a gatefold card. And so you just untie this, and then it opens up. And it's super easy. I'm using the Sweet Stockings. It's got the cute little puppy dogs and kittens in their stockings. And I'll just be honest, I'm not one who buys a lot of the Christmas stamps. I know, it's terrible, right? But there have been a couple sets that I have really loved. And now that I have this paper, and I've seen some other things done with the stocking set, I'm like, this is on the last chance list. So, I'm going to be getting that. So, even though it's going to be on the last chances, I can see some things that I want to do with it, and I'm going to keep it. Because I saw somebody make roller skates out of the stockings. And if you don't know anything about me, growing up, I was a competitive roller skater, figure skating. So, anything with roller skates, I'm just all about it. And I saw a card the other day that they had turned those little stockings into roller skates, and I was like, that's it. I'm getting that. So it's funny how just something simple like that will just turn you on to a stamp set or embellishments or paper or whatever. You know, you'll think, oh, I don't like that. I don't need that. And then you'll see one thing and it's like, oh, I got to have that. So let's see. So going on right now, we have got last chance with the products that are retiring from our mini catalog. So you don't want to miss those. They are while supplies last, so don't forget about checking those. Today only is free shipping. Stampin' Up! Rarely does it. And I'm not saying they never do it, but they rarely do free shipping. It's a 10% savings, and it's only good through midnight Mountain Time, which is 2 o'clock Eastern Time. So if you're a night owl, you got a couple extra hours in there. But your order has to be at least $50. And then you'll get free shipping. Now also, here's something too. If you like Paper Pumpkin, you can do a prepaid Paper Pumpkin code for, I think the 3 months. Sorry, I didn't write this number down, but I think the 3 months is over $50. So you would save 10% on your Paper Pumpkin. You would save the shipping charge on the Paper Pumpkin prepaid code. Now the month-to-month Paper Pumpkins, that's a whole different thing, and this doesn't apply to that. Okay, so but everything else in Stampin' Up does apply. Now the other thing that's going on, so we've got last chance, we've got free shipping. There's also been a clearance rack refresh. Thanks, Angie. It's $63 for that 3-month code. You can also do 6-month, and there's also 12-month. It makes a great Christmas gift if you like Paper Pumpkin and you would like that. Have somebody contact me, and I can help you. I can help your Santa Claus get that done for you today, though, but we got to do it tonight. So they got to message me pretty quickly because I got to work in the morning. So I'm not going to be up till 2 o'clock in the morning for the free shipping, but I do have an order that I'm putting in tonight too. We also have Chicks and Chocolate card class coming up on December 16th. The link for that is on my Facebook page. I believe the website is http://bit.ly/BDR stamps, Chicks Chuck December. I'll put it up there. Don't worry about it. But you can sign up for that. The class is free with a minimum purchase, or it is $20. It's just $20, or you get, if you place an order of at least $25, then you'll get it for free, or you can just pay $20. If you're a demonstrator in the area and you would like to come to the class, then it's just the $20 free, and you're welcome to come. The classes are at Woodlawn Christian Church down in South Knoxville, close to downtown Knoxville. And 6 to about 8:30. We're usually done and wrapped up by 8:30 if everybody gets busy. And so this month we're going to be doing some last minute Christmas cards and a couple little gift packages. So if you need some last minute things, this would be a great class to come to. And I also have a special little gift for everybody that comes to class in December. So we'd love to see you there. Phew, okay, I think that gets just about everything. When I put my camera down to the table, I'll have my link for the host code. So if you are interested in shopping the free shipping today, I'll have a link for that, and it will take you straight to my demonstrator store, and it'll already have the host code linked in there, so you don't have to worry about putting in the host code. So hopefully that will be helpful for you. But let's get busy working on our Gatefold card tonight. So if you'll give me 1 second, I'm going to switch my camera down, and let's see, let's get you flipped here. And let's see, I don't think, there we go. I think that's a little bit better. All right, I got tools and business all over the place. Now, I was going to show you, I'll give you a little sneak peek. I was going to show you this little treat, but I forgot to go to the store and get more of these little candy bars. These were my last 3 candy bars. So this will be next week's Facebook Live when I remember to go to the store and grab some extra candy bars. Alrighty, so here is our Gatefold card, and I'm just going to untie this, and you'll see that it just opens like this. Okay, now I have chosen to use the Designer Series paper. You can use cardstock. That's what I always used to use. I used to make this kind of card all the time, especially when we had the wheels. And so we would close it up and we would wheel across here. And that's usually how I did it. But this time we're using the Designer Series paper. And the cool thing about this is you get to see both sides of the Designer Series paper, which we don't often get to do. So I think that makes it a little bit more fun. So let me show you how we're going to do this. And I have measurements written down here, so and I'll write those down for you also. But I'm going to start just because I know people get a little intimidated by doing all the paper cutting. So I'm going to start from the very beginning on the paper cutting. So you'll see the process. It's not hard. But this is also a way, it kind of conserves your cardstock because you can get 4 Gatefold cards out of 1 piece of cardstock like this, because if you use the white cardstock instead of the Designer Series paper also, that helps because you get more white cardstock in a pack than you do with the colored. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to cut this is Cherry Cobbler. We're going to cut it into 4 pieces. And so we're going to start by cutting at 5.5. And the great thing about our Stampin' Trimmer, we have a scoring blade and we have a cutting blade. You can't see the cutting blade at the moment. Here's the cutting blade down here. And I always typically cut from the bottom up, just so it keeps my paper a little bit more stable. So I'm going to cut this at 5.5. And then I'll just set this piece aside because I'm not going to use it for now. And then we turn it and we cut it at 4.25. Okay, and so that gives me 2 pieces, and this is going to be our card base. Okay, so we've got that, and then, whoops, I need some Designer Series paper. So the next layer is that paper, and so, I don't know if you can see this over here. Let me move this up a little bit. So our Cherry Cobbler card base is 4.25 by 5.5, and then our Designer Series paper is going to be 8.25 by 5 1/4. So let's get that going. And you want to think about, so I want my design going this direction. So when I fold my paper over, you do need to think about that. So the longer piece is going to be at 8 1/4. So I'll go ahead and cut that so that I don't get that confused. And then turn it and do 5 1/4. Oops. There we go. Okay, so now we have our base, we have the part that's going to fold in, and now we need to do, so if you'll notice on this card, I have a piece of white cardstock in here so that we can write and stamp our message in there. And so that piece is, let me grab a piece of cardstock back here. That piece is 3 3/4 by 5 inches. So I'm going to go ahead and just cut a piece of this at 5. This was not the most efficient way to cut this, but that's okay. 3 3/4. Okay, and then I will need a scrap for my sentiment a little bit later, so I am just going to cut off a piece that I'll use that as scrap in just a little bit. Okay, so I think I'm done with my paper trimmer for now. So I'm going to tuck that back under my table. Okay, so we got our pieces. Let's get this together. Now, I will say that my lovely ribbon that I have over here, I am out of it. I just realized I used the last piece of it on my sample card. So I think I'm going to use some white glitter ribbon because I'm always about glitter ribbon. Okay, so what we're going to do, so to do your gatefold card, there are people who will measure and score, but I am not that person. So all you have to do is fold your paper to the center and take your time and just eyeball it when it looks like it's, in the center. And this is a good piece of paper to do because these stripes match up. It doesn't always work out that way, but once you get it, these are gonna be butting up next to each other. They're not overlapping. And then I'm just gonna take my bone folder and press, and then I come over here, do the same thing, and that is all there is to that. Okay, super, super easy. Now, you do need to think a little bit about your design. So the next thing you do is you just layer this onto your card base. Now on mine, I went ahead and put my ribbon underneath so that my ribbon stayed attached. And you could just do it so it wraps completely around. Other people also will do a belly band, so they'll do a strip of cardstock around here and you can just slide that strip off. That's a totally, a great way to do that. But I'm going to use ribbon, and I've got this white glitter ribbon, which I love. And so all you have to do for that is just run a piece of adhesive down the center of your card. And then I usually am pretty generous cutting it because it's just easier to tie a bow if you've got enough excess going on. So don't be afraid to use a little extra ribbon, and then just kind of lay it in the center, and then I just kind of press it down onto that piece of adhesive. So there we go, we got that going. All right, I hope that's clear so far. If you've got questions, throw them in the comments and let me know. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to turn this piece over and I'm going to put some adhesive on it. And then come back and I'm just going to center this onto my card base. And then I'm going to flip it over and burnish it. This gets the air bubbles out between the cardstock and the adhesive, and so that it stays on there really well. Alrighty, so there we go. Look at those cute little puppies and kittens. Aren't they just adorable? How can you resist those? Okay, and now I have my piece for the center. Now I can decide if I'm going to stamp or what I'm going to stamp in here. And I think, you know, I'm not really sure. I think what I'm going to do is cut a piece of paper to coordinate with this. Because I don't have the stamp set that goes with this. And so I don't really have something to coordinate. So I'm just going to cut a little strip. And actually, well, I don't know. I think I was going to cut. And I just guessed. I mean, there was no, the only measurement that I did, I knew this was 3 3/4, so I did do 3 3/4. So, but as far as the width of it, I just eyeballed it and just guessed something. That's not super important. All right, and so then I'm just going to put this at the very bottom. I have glasses somewhere. I probably should put them on. Might make things stay a little straighter. Here they are. Okay. Now, if you have a sentiment that would be good to stamp in the center here, you totally could do that. Or you can just leave it so that you can write your message. It gives you more room to write your message. And let me see. There is a stamp, I think. Well, nope. I think it will fit. Yeah, it will. Okay, we're going to use that. I was thinking it was going to be too wide, but it's not. So let me grab a block. I have my big block box here. Okay. Now, I don't have the labels on these. I apologize, but I just really prefer stamping without the labels. Try to get it on here a little bit straighter. And so I've got my Cherry Cobbler ink that I'm going to open up. I just had to re-ink it. It was a little bit dry a second ago, so I am going to practice with this real quick just to make sure that I either didn't over-ink it or it's still too dry, but no, it's good. Yeah, it's good. Okay. So, now this stamp is from the Encircled in Warmth cling set. This is in our mini catalog, and I love this. This has been one of my favorite Christmas ones. And like I said, I'm not one that buys a lot of Christmas stamps. So, let's see how straight we're going to get this. Hey, that's not bad. I love it. All right. So the last thing is just to, well, not the last thing. We're going to put this down into the center, the inside of our card. There we go. Let me know what you think. Yep, the Encircled in Warmth is on the last chance list. That makes me so sad because it is a great stamp set. It's probably one, I don't tend to keep a lot of our retired stamps, but that is one that I am going to keep because I really like the, I like the fonts that are in it. A whole lot. I'm a font geek, and I really love the fonts in this one. And so it's going to be sticking around with me for a while. All right, so we're going to, this is the tag we're going to use. And so I'm just going to stamp that right in the middle. And then I'm going to grab my, and I'm done with my stamp, so I can, well, my ink pad, so I can close that. I'm going to grab my mini Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. And we're going to make our sandwich. Oi, where did my die go? Oh, here it is. Whew, mercy. That's always a scary time when you're looking for the die. Okay. So, and this die is actually not from, it's not the one that matches the stamp set. It is from the Hippo and Friends. And this has tons. This is in the annual catalog. It's got tons of really great label dies, and it actually works really well with this sentiment. And so we're going to just line that up, put our top plate on, And we're just going to start cranking this through. Sorry for the wobbling as my die cut goes through. So that's done. And there we go. So we've got, and see, you've got this really pretty stitching around the edge. So it's perfect. I love it. All right. So let me get the Stamp and Cut and Emboss machine, the mini. That was the mini one, the little guy. But the little guy does a lot of work. Okay, so now for this. Now, because we want this to open, we got to be careful. Sometimes you get going and you just go ahead and slap that adhesive all over the place, and you may not want to do that. Now, one thing you can think about also is, and I think I'm going to do this one differently, is I'm going to run my ribbon underneath so that when I tie the ribbon, the sentiment is still showing. Either way is totally fine, but that's what I'm going to do on this one. So I am going to just put just a little tad of adhesive right there just to hold that in place. And then I'm going to flip and just make sure that I'm putting it only on the half that I want. Pull that ribbon to the side, center that. There we go. Just gotta make sure that's pressed down. And then we can tie up. Now you could just tie a little knot here, that's fine, and then it's on the receiver to untie that little knot if you want to, but I'm going to tie a little bow. I don't mind tying bows. I know not everybody likes to tie bows. I am that strange person that bows don't bother me. Sometimes. And you know what? I love the sparkly ribbon with this too. All right. Now, if you want the person to be able to tie this back, don't cut these tails too short because that will make it more difficult for them to tie. And of course, I got to put a little bit of blingity bling on here. And I think those are really just a little bit too red for me. Let me see if I've got the holiday rhinestones over here in my stash. Oh yeah, let's see. Oh yeah, we've got some, well, I don't know that those are the right colors. Well, yeah, I think so. I think we could use some of these. We can just splash some different colors around and, you know, see what we like. So, where's my take your pick tool? I've got 100 tools over here and not a single take your pick tool. Are you kidding me? No, here we go. Got it. Okay, and I'm just going to put these all over just in some different places on the card just so it has some sparkle. And I think I'm going to use these Pool Party. Put some over here. Oops. Where'd it go? There we go. So I hope you guys are liking this one. And you can see it was a super easy card to make. All right, I got to balance these out. There's just a little bit too much of business going on. I don't know. Okay, I'm just going to leave it like that. All right, there we go. What do you think? Easy, not easy? Are you willing to give it a shot? I hope you are, because it's a fun card. And if you're wanting to just step out of your comfort zone, it's an easy one to step out with. And now if you had, like, this was one, this would be like if you were just going to do the cardstock. So then you would do your cardstock this way. You could do a white card base and have colored cardstock. You could do tone on tone. There's all kinds of stuff you could do. And then you could cut strips of designer series paper to fit in these panels. So there's lots of ways you could do it. But I really love being able to see the inside of the designer series paper because you don't get to see that very often. And while we're here, I'm just going to go ahead and stamp that sentiment right on this one because I've got it out, so I might as well do it. Because these cards are going to go out in the mail. I am not going to hang on to them. Oh, and I stamped it upside down. Wouldn't you know it? That's okay. I'm going to put a piece of cardstock over it. That's what happens when you don't put the labels on. Sometimes you stamp upside down. But I'll stamp it on another piece of cardstock, and then nobody will ever know. It'll be perfect. I'll put a little layer on there. We're just going to tie that up, and we're just going to not even act like that was upside down. So anyway, yep, real world stamping. You stamp stuff upside down sometimes. There we go. All right, so here it is with the bow out on the top side, and this bow is a little bit more bold and out there, and then this glitter ribbon is just a little bit more subtle, and it's tucked behind the sentiment. So 2 ways to do it. Both ways are great. You could also do a belly band with cardstock or designer series paper. So any of those ways are really good, and I've seen them all. Now I've also seen where you take a full size, and actually this is an extra piece, and you don't mount it onto a card base. When I was first starting stamping, I did this to save a little bit of money because I was only using a 1/4 piece of the colored cardstock, which costs more. And so that was my cost saving trick to do that. But you could also, here's a 1/2 sheet of cardstock, same concept. You just, now this one you score it at 2 3/4, and then you flip it and you do the same thing on the other side. That if you're one of those people, you just got to have the scoring, well, you could do that, but it's just as easy to just fold it over, and then you can make your card from here. You can put some designer series paper in here, stamp, do sentiments, do a belly band, all those things. So this would be just a regular card without mounting it onto something else. So there you go. I hope that was helpful. And let me know. I'm glad you guys like it. Be sure to hit the thumbs up and the heart, all that stuff, because I say that not because I want to see all that stuff, but because it helps with Facebook, their algorithms and all that business. That's why people ask you to do that, because it does help the videos to pop up in people's feed more often. And that's the whole point. We want people to see the stamping stuff. So now our next little project, this is a little extra. I think, now Melanie, if you're still on here, I have this Dove lotion, and I think it is probably pretty close to that Nivea that you have, because I think I've seen the Nivea that looks very close to this. So this looks like it is, and I've got my my grid paper here. And so this is a lot of times how I figure sizes out. If you don't have this grid paper, this is something that if it wasn't so big, it'd be a fantastic stocking stuffer. It's a little big for a stocking. So a lot of times what I'll do is I'll just get my pencil out. I'll put my item here. And so I'll kind of go, all right, it's here and it's here. And we want to make a box for this. You can get these at the dollar store. These great big old things, and they've got let's see, there's one that's a cocoa butter one, and that looks really good. So this looks like it's going to be 3.5 by 3.5, and it is about 1 inch. All right, so we're going to be making a box, 3.5 by 3.5, whoops, by 1 inch. Okay. Alrighty, let's see how we can do this. 3.5 and 3.5, so that's 7. All right, so when we do it, we're gonna have our first square, and then we're gonna have the 1 inch, and then we're gonna have our 3.5 inch. Then we're gonna have to have another 1 inch, and then another 1 inch. All right, I think that's correct. Let me think about that. I think that's right. And then we'll need a 1 inch and a 1 inch on this side. So this is 7, 8, 9, 10. So that should be 10 inches long. And 3.5, 4.5 by 5.5. Okay. let's see if this is right. And this is the way I do it. You know, I'll do it, and if it doesn't work out, I'll just redo it. It's just a trial and error sometimes. All right, so we're going to cut 5.5, and then since I know this is an 11-inch piece of cardstock and we need 10, I'm just going to cut. Whoops, I can do it this way. I'm going to cut 1 inch off this way. Okay. All right, let's cross our fingers. Now I'm going to get my scoring tool out because when I'm doing these kind of things, I really just prefer to score on my scoring tool. You can totally score on our Stampin' Trimmer, but I'm going to score on the scoring tool. Okay, I need a stylus. All right, so the ones that are easy to do are the sides because we know we want 1 inch on each side. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. 1 inch, spin it. This is the easiest way to do it. Okay, now we're going to turn it this way, and it's going to be 1 inch, and then I know I need to go 3.5 inches, so that's going to be 4.5, and then I know I need to do 1 more inch, so that's going to be 5.5, and then I know I just need 1 inch from this side, so 9, and that should be correct. It looks good. Let's see if this works out. All right, so let's write down the score line so that we know. So we're gonna score at 1 inch, 4.5. Whoops, I'm terrible about writing too hard. 5.5, and then 9 inches, and then on the shorter side, you're gonna do 1 inch on each side. So we'll say short. Okay. So now we're going to go ahead and burnish on all the score lines. All right, so this will be great. If you need a little last minute gift, run to the Dollar Tree, grab these little lotions. My mother-in-law loves this. I bought her a stack of 6 of them. So maybe I can make a box that will hold 6 of these and stack them in there. And that will be her Christmas gift. How about that? All right, so we're going to cut, and then we're going to just angle that out a little bit and cut up, and then we just kind of miter those corners. It takes out the bulk. I always cut so that that little ridge, I don't know if you can see that, is going to be where on the piece that I just miter out. Okay, if that helps. And so I just lay my scissors, if you can see that, right on that edge, and then I just angle cut just a little bit, enough to take that out. Okay, same thing on this side, and basically this makes like a little pizza box, and that's as simple as it is to make your own boxes. And this is just one kind of box. There's lots of other boxes. You could do boxes with the separate lids, you know, all those kind of things. But this one, and so then it's just super easy to go. So you just pull your corners up and you're going to just square everything up. I'm going to use the green glue because I just like it. And so, and I just do a corner at a time. And you just have to hold it for a second. It doesn't take long. And remember, with the green glue, it does not take much. And let's see, put a little, and sometimes you can just kind of give it a slide it around just a tad and just hold it in place. Okay. And then I'm going to fold these 2 pieces in and do these at the same time. Usually not too hard to do that. If you get some of this glue outside, there's some adhesive removers you can get. They're just little rubber things. It's not too bad, but I usually just try to wipe it off real quick. All right, so we're just going to hold that for a second till that sticks. Now, before I do this last piece, I want to cut a little notch here so that it kind of makes like a little thumb notch. Let me grab my circle punch. Use whatever you have. I have just one of our retired circle punches, and it's just easier if you go ahead and do that before you do these last corners. All right, so Melanie, is this gonna work for you? I hope it does. Melanie's making little gifts, and I made the little Nivea box last week that was for the small Nivea creams, and she has the big one. So I said, well, we'll just go ahead and do that. So somebody else may need one of these boxes. All right, so now you can just, oh, yep, look there. Actually, it's got a little bit of wiggle room in it even. How about that? Okay. So there you go. And then, so this is 3.5 by 3.5. So if you wanted to cut a piece of DSP, you'd go 3.25 by 3.25 to lay a piece of DSP on there, or you could do a little belly band on it. All kinds of ways you could decorate that. I'm not gonna decorate it tonight, but see, you've got that little thumb notch right there. That just makes it easy to open up. So if we wanted to get it really snug, we could work on it a little bit more, make it even snugger, but we're not going to because I think it's great. You could even put a little glue dot or something there to hold it in place if you wanted. But there you go. We got it. Well, I'm glad I could help Melanie. And that was fun to do. I love making boxes like that. And I like, I'm not the best person at bath, so it's always a challenge for me to do those things. And I've done them before where they didn't work out the first time, so that was kind of exciting that it actually worked out the first time. So let me bring these guys back. Now, just remind you of a couple things, because there's some folks on here that missed some of the announcements right at the beginning. But it is one day only free shipping on orders of $50 or more. If you want to shop right here, this is a link. It will take you straight to my demonstrator store with the host code already there. If your order is going to just happens to be more than $150, let me know, because I don't want you to use this link. I want you to be able to get the host benefits. So just give me a holler if that is going to be the case. You do want to order. Hey, Brenda, if you're on here, let me know. I think it's December 14th if you want to get your stuff in by Christmas, but that's still, that's really pushing it with the shipping issues that are going on. I would not wait that long. UPS has, they've dropped their shipping guarantee. So even if you get something and you ask for 2-day shipping, it's still not guaranteed. Okay, thanks, Brenda. December 13th. So you don't want to wait that long, but I'm happy to help. If you've got somebody that needs to get you some craft supplies, I'll be happy to help with that. If you want to place an order tonight and you need help placing your order for the free shipping, just give me a call or send me a message. I'll be up probably till about 10 o'clock, and I'll be glad to help you. So don't miss that. It is last chance for our holiday mini catalog that ends at the end of this month. So we've got retiring items while supplies last. So if there's especially paper embellishments, now stamps are usually guaranteed because we make our own stamps, but paper embellishments, those kind of things are while supplies last. And there's some that are already gone. I know that Peaceful Place paper that Brenda loves, I heard her say earlier, it's already gone. So make sure you get in there and grab your stuff. This paper is so cute. This Sweet Stockings paper. It's got one side has, very good Christmassy things, and the other side has the cute little animals on it. And if you have a golden retriever or you have cats, you may want to get this paper because it is adorable. So we saw that one. See, that's a great paper. But then look, I mean, come on. And there's dies that go with this that cut these out. There's dies that cut out the stockings. Here are the other pieces to it. Oh, look how pretty these little, and so there's dies that match these stockings that will cut those little stockings out, make some really cute cards. Looky there. I love this cat with the ears on. It's adorable. And that's some really pretty paper too. So there is that. Just want to make sure you're aware of that. And then we have Chicks and Chocolate stamp card class coming up on Thursday, December 16th at 6 o'clock. It is an in-person class. It's free with a $25 purchase, or it's $25. And if you don't want to make a purchase, then the class is just $20. And we're gonna make some last minute Christmas cards and 2 last minute gift packages, a gift card holder, and then a little gift bag. And I do have a special gift for everybody that comes to class this month. I know it's a busy time, so if you can't make it, but you would like to get all of the goodies, you can get the class to go. You can just place an order, or you can send the $20 class fee, either one. And you'll get all the materials. You'll get a PDF that shows you how to make the projects. And you will get the little gift that I have for everybody. It's going to be a fun gift. I think you'll like it. So it's going to be a very useful gift. But I'm not going to tell you what it is. You have to come to class to find out. But I would love to have you there. Be sure you sign up by I think it's the Sunday before that, because I do have to get the materials prepped, and I need to know how many people will be there. So I would love to have you join us. So I guess that's all for tonight. If you have any questions, let me know. I hope you've enjoyed this. And next week, we will be making this little gift package. It's super cute, so easy, and I will be doing a different design. But this is using the new Rainbow and Sunshine, or Sunshine and Rainbows paper. That's going to be a celebration paper that you can earn for free. This is from the Hello Friend, or Friendly Hello. Sorry. This is also a stamp set that you can earn for free with Celebration. It's a great stamp set. And so we're going to make this little treaty next week. And I hope you guys will join me for that next Wednesday at 8 o'clock. And so that's all I've got for you tonight. Thanks for joining, and I hope you have a great night. Thanks.